Crispin Chettri has a knack for shaping top talents and winning titles. A former youth international, he has spent the last 4 years coaching at the highest level, leading Odisha FC to their first ever Indian Women's League and Odisha Women's League title, along with guiding the Odisha state team to win the National Games gold medal. His coaching journey also includes an IWL runners-up finish with Setu FC. Most notably, he made history this season by guiding Odisha FC to the AFC Women's Champions League group stage, a first for any Indian club.
Coaching where everyone wants to be there. I think I'm thrilled and humbled also to be part of the nation and our national team. And I think it's good we won out yesterday also. So I think I'm looking forward for both club and making our country proud.
You guys were the winner last season.
Yeah.
So how do you think you guys? I think most of the players from your team went to East Bengal. And so how are you going to manage that? How are you planning on dealing with that?
See, football is like that only. In transfer market, sometimes you lose players and sometimes you get players also. For instance, we lost most of our players, but we got some interesting players in Kajal, be it Kiran, Nimita. We have some interesting players also, younger ones, but who are willing to learn. So, but I'm happy with the squad. I think as a coach, I would love to coach these players because they want to learn. So I think hopefully we'll be on tails with on the league table with East Bengal. Just be their game at a time, and hopefully we'll catch them up.
How do you think you will manage the experience with the youth that you have?
I think for us, for the national team, the time has come for transition. Like you say,
Okay.
we have a really good young talented players.
Yes.
But now when we look at our vision, I think the transition time has come. So there has to be some changes. I know as a coach I will be suffering if I make changes. It will be a difficult task, but there has to be a change and transition. And there should be a mixed bag of young, mostly young, and few senior players who can lead this group.
Men's football.
Yeah.
What made you transition into women's football? Like, what was the chief, or what would I say, motivator behind that decision?
I got a call from Setu FC.
You were working as a physical education teacher.
No, back home I was working before I joined Mohammedan Sporting. I was working as a physical education because I had not completed my A license.
Okay.
So I was working and I was doing my courses also, B license, A license, and all. No? So then I got a call from Sydney from Setu like Crispin, if you are interested to work in women's football and all. No? First I thought women's football. But I told you, I was working in a school, so I know how to deal with women athletes. I was working with the basketball team, volleyball team and all. So then why not give it a go? So then I went there. I think that year because of COVID again stopped. Then again next year I went to Setu and that year it was a 45 days league only. That time I realized I think I should stick with this women footballers because I see the growth of players in that 45 days and all. No? So I think then I started believing in myself that I can be a part of a women's football in India.
So our women's team has been really doing well. And why do you think women are doing so well despite having the similar handicaps around them as the men's team?
I think like competition wise, it's lesser competition when you compete with compared with men's team and all. But to be honest with you, in women's football, no, the difference between top team and the lowest team is not that different than what is there in men's team. And when it comes to the team in the middle and us, it's a very thin gap. It's only about self-belief and a little bit of tactical or technical issues. Otherwise, the gap is really thin. But when you compare that in men's team, it's really vast.
So how do you plan on keeping them, fresh and ready for challenges? Because when your body is tired, when your mind is tired, that is when the job begins.
Yeah.
The next stage begins. How do you plan on that?
I think now football is all about managing, especially women athletes, because they are much more emotional.
Yes.
Yeah, characteristic wise, they are completely different. It's very difficult to understand. Yeah, but I think sometimes we should be focusing more on the field only, and let them be themselves outside the field.
Yes.
Sometimes if you do that, no, then I think the happier they are outside, they'll put more energy in the field. So we can't be dictators like in earlier days,
I was going to that.
in earlier days, no. But in certain extent, you have to be that kind of a person also on certain days, and certain days you have to be open-minded also.
Where do you think we stand? We are 69 in the position right now, but when do you think we can actually qualify for the World Cup with a pool of current pool of players?
I think right now maybe it will take 1 or 2 years to create a pool of players. The federation has a vision of 2047, but for me personally, I think we should target 2030. Yeah, we should target 2030. Create a pool of players, because I think we are unlucky not to qualify for World Cup last time around because of COVID. Otherwise, we had a terrific batch of players. See, Asa was in big form. Bala was there in Rangers. Like there are so many names. Hindu at her prime. So we had a really great bunch of players. We are so unlucky not to be there in the World Cup. So, but I still trust in our players, and there are some really talented youngsters. So, can we do it in 2030? So now these 2 years will be a suffering and struggling phase. But this is my viewpoint, yeah. So suffering and struggling phase. Then if you create a pool of players, then be continuous in AFC Cup, be competitive, take our standings from in AFC ranking to top 10 within a span of 2-3 years. Then if we are in top 10 within 2-3 years, then in another 3 years, I think we can be there in the World Cup.